right, thanks for joining us. Bob, as always, get us going, please.
Okay. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Good.
You look at Florida, and they're obviously a quality program, but they're 21-19, not a great overall record. Just kind of what I think they're 8-10 in the league. What are your thoughts on Florida overall?
Played an extremely tough non-conference schedule. They played Florida State, I think, 3 times, and Miami, and they haven't done great. Against Florida State, who's really good this year, and maybe had a little more pitching depth, and that's where some of their losses have come against some of the really good midweek teams. And then league play, it's been up and down with their pitching. I mean, offensively, they're strong. They've hit a bunch of home runs, I think like 90. Their first baseman, left-handed pitcher, Caglione, he's unbelievable. When you look at his numbers, he's hitting .410 with 25 homers, and he's only struck out 14 times, it's amazing. I mean, he swings at pitches that are eye high and hits them over the lights. He swings at bad pitches, but he hits them, and he hits them hard. They're just they're really dangerous, and they're very talented. They've just had some young pitchers that maybe are a year away that they've tried to depend on in midweek games that have hurt them. League play, it's just a good league. I mean, you can say this team's better than that team, or they're supposed to do this. I don't look at it that way. They're all good. I mean, there's some teams that are struggling that you kind of shake your head, like Auburn or whoever, but they can hit or they can do this, but they don't finish games on the mound. So, but I look at them as one of the more talented teams in the SEC. They have a lot of pro talent. Guys are going to sign for a lot of money this year and next year. We just need to continue to do what we're doing. And that's throw strikes and field the ball and score enough runs to win.
Yeah, I was plan keep the rotation the same.
So for the most part, we're going to go Hagan game 1, and then we'll go Brady Tiger game 2, and we're going to go TBA game 3.
You feel like Mason? I know he didn't have a good outing. Or is he okay? Or kind of what's your thought process?
He has a twisted ankle, so he is injured. Yeah, he twisted his ankle doing some drill work. Coach Hobbs and him and a few other pitchers, and we're going to give him this week off to let that heal. We could probably put him on the roster. We could probably pitch him. He's probably 90%, but we want to make sure that next week and going forward, he's 100%.
You obviously got good pitching depth. How do you, I'm sure whoever you throw Sundays based on who you throw Friday and Saturday, but do you feel good that you guys obviously have quality depth there?
Yeah, I mean, we'll go with the best option. We could staff it. We could, pitch it like a Tuesday game. We'll figure it out after we finished a couple of games on who we're going to throw, at least start. It's really who we're going to start. Whoever we start is probably just going to go a few innings anyway.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm assuming you've looked at the forecast. Just kind of what are your people telling you, and how do you feel about maybe the weather impacting things this weekend?
Yeah, so I'm thinking tomorrow on Friday, as of now, we have a window to play 7 to 10 or 5 to 10 or whatever it looks like, where it's not quite, such a big percentage. Now that could change obviously tomorrow and then closer to game time. And, if percentages go up, there's storms going to roll in. We won't start that game. But, we're planning on playing tomorrow at 7. I think it's a TV game. That's why we're playing at 7. And then Sunday does not look good at all. Looks like it's anywhere from 80 to 90% all day. So looks like there's a window on Saturday, most of the day, where we could probably play 2. So basically looking to try to play tomorrow, and then we will try to figure this out today if we're going to move the Sunday game to Saturday, because I know there's a lot of fans coming, and we're probably going to, I think the SEC rule states if you're going to make a decision to move a game, say a day and a half out, you got to have at least 80%. And we're definitely at 80 and 90. And just listen to the local people speak about the weather on Sunday. They said it probably not going to go away in all day. So we'll do what we can to get 3 in. And so I think for us to do that, it sounds like we've definitely got to get a game in tomorrow if we're going to get 3 in, and then kind of go from there. If we played one Friday and we only got 1 in Saturday due to weather, or we didn't play Friday, we played 2 Saturday, then, we'll have to just sit on Sunday and see if we can get it in. But right now, I would say that decisions will be made later on today about what we're going to try to do on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. You only threw Bybee for a couple innings the other day. Was that in anticipation? Did you already know Molina, y'all were giving him the week off? And I guess would Fisher also be, an option there as well?
Yeah, that was exactly what went on, because we would have thrown Bybee more. So that was a good observation.
And you mentioned Caglione as a hitter earlier. What do you see from him as a pitcher? He seems to be their most consistent guy on the mound too.
Well, obviously his stuff is amazing. I mean, teams are hitting right around 200 against him. He'll walk you every now and then, but he also strike you out. He's just kind of hard to hit. Big old guy throwing downhill like that from the left side, and it's firm. And you just hope you can put together an inning or 2 on him, or you get his pitch count up. But he's awfully talented. I mean, he's one of those guys that obviously, if he wasn't such a good hitter, he's going to go probably in the first round as a pitcher. And if he wasn't, teams will have to make that decision, but he's probably going to be drafted to hit is what I'm hearing. And, he's just, when you see him, you'll see how big he is. And his development's been amazing. What he's done over the last 2.5, 3 years, he's continued to get better.
Does he remind you of any other two-way guys that you've faced over the years?
Oh man, I don't know, because of the power. I mean, it's big left guy. Nobody really jumps out at me right now on that. I mean, there's been a couple of kids there's a kid at Baylor a long time ago when I was coaching in Nebraska that pitched and also hit a ton of home runs sitting in the middle of their order. Can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he'd probably be the closest thing.
Dudley?
Coach, when you're uncertain on a Sunday starter or whenever that game will be played, how good does it feel to know how many options you have at the back of that bullpen and really the middle of the game?
Well, at least we know that we've got some guys that have pitched in some big games and big situations, leverage situations, and that they throw strikes. We've done so well in midweek games this year, honestly, is because our midweek guys throw it over the plate, and teams have hit it, but we haven't been giving them runs as far as walks and hit by pitches and stuff like that. So at least we have some guys with experience that we know they're going to come in there and make them earn it.
With the atmosphere this weekend, you've got a guy, several guys who will be at the top of the draft, it appears. Just talk a little bit about the atmosphere you expect this weekend.
Well, I know it's highly anticipated series and just ticket demand and people calling me, texting me, wanting to get tickets, friends and former teammates, and just, coming around, want to watch a game. And this seems to be the one they want to see. It's kind of a bummer on the weather, but, if you're a baseball fan, we play 2 on Saturday. You can have a long day at the park, but see a lot of talent. You just look at some of their guys, even just like Colby Shelton, their shortstop, left-handed hitter. He's going to be a good draft. He's sophomore draft eligible. And the first baseman, second baseman's a good player. I mean, you can go on. And then our guys, obviously, a lot of high-end drafts, top 5 rounders that'll be on the field this weekend.
Thanks.
Tom?
Dave, I don't know if there's much of a book on Caglione pitching to him. He looks like he's hit everything. How do you try to handle that guy?
Yeah, we were just in there talking about it. I think how you handle him is you get the guys out in front of him. Don't let them get on base. And, because he's going to get his. He's going to take his swings and he's going to make contact, and the ball explodes off his bat. How do we pitch him? I don't know. You know, I'm sure everybody's tried everything. You know, you pitch him out of the zone a little bit, he still seems to find a way to get the barrel on it. You know, it's pretty amazing. You know, he's walked 24 times, but only struck out 14. A lot of times a big guy like that, he might have walked 50 times this year, but obviously he makes contact, and it's pretty good contact because, I mean, when you hit 25 homers and you're still hitting over 400, that's a pretty good stat. And yeah, I don't know how we're going to pitch him. Hopefully very, very cautiously.
Their last couple of Friday games haven't gone so well. What do you see from their Friday and Saturday pitchers?
Yeah, I mean, they moved it around a little bit. They've thrown Neely, who's been he was a really good reliever for him last year. He's started, I think, 8 games and pitched in, I don't know, 15, 16 games. And then I think they're going to start a big left-handed pitcher, freshman, and he's on a pitch count. So I think he's starting on, I think tomorrow. And, you know, so we figure they just want to get 2 or 3 out of him because he's on a count. You know, I don't know. You know, they've struggled a little bit, but it's talented stuff. I mean, it's stuff. It's not like they're throwing guys up there that throwing 87, 88 miles an hour from the right side, just trying to trick you a little bit for a few innings. These guys have really good arms. They throw hard. Like I said, they're one of those teams that, you know, whenever they start winning, they might not stop. So we've got to play well. You know, we've tried to watch as much video on these guys and get information. And, you know, this time of year, there's a lot out there. If guys have been on the mound, we've seen a lot, and it's quality stuff. It's just, you know, maybe they're getting behind in the count and their hitters are taking advantage of that.
Is moving tomorrow's first pitch up even in the realm of possibility because it's TV, or how does that get handled?
Yeah, I think it would be. It's something that we're going to look at too. But as of now, I mean, you know, it looks like we do have a window later in the day, but yeah, I mean, I would think you move it up. I know I think it's the network. It's tomorrow the network. So, I mean, we got to get these in. If it was just, I would say if we had a beautiful day on Saturday and Sunday, we just try to play at normal time because of TV. But with the Sunday issue, 2 days to get 3 in possibly, we got to do what we got to do.
Come back around, Bob.
Yeah, it seems like what's the point of having the game on TV if it gets rained out, you know? So
Good point.
yeah, but it kind of following up what you were saying about Florida. You figure, man, these guys are talented. They're going to figure out at some point, and you just don't want to be playing them when they do. Is there a sort of a feeling like that?
Well, I think that we're a really confident team, and we feel like that we can compete with anybody in the country most every day. I mean, we don't talk about Florida as far as a team. I mean, as coaches, I mean, our job is to try to, you know as much about our opponent as we can going into the weekend. But, you know, they're good like everybody else. I mean, it's Florida. A lot of good players in Florida. They know what they're doing. They've won a national championship. They've won SEC championships. They've played in a few other championship series over the last 15 years. And so they're good. And baseball can be a interesting sport sometimes. Things don't go your way or whatever. It's, you know, to us, it's University of Florida coming in here, but it's another series, and we're just going to try to win game 1 and go from there.
Yeah, I think you guys didn't play Florida last year, so you didn't see Caglione, or however you say his name, when he really took off. I think as a freshman, he had maybe 7 or 8 home runs. Do you remember him as a freshman? And just you mentioned earlier, it seems like he's made a lot of progress since then, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I remember last year at the conference tournament, him and I were on the elevator together. We were the only 2. We were going up, and I said something like, "Man, you're a lot bigger than I realized." And I mean, we had a good conversation. He's a good kid, and friendly, but he is a big kid. And I'd say not kid anymore. He's a full-grown man. And you know, when you have some experience and you're confident with development, you know, I could see it. I could see it that he's having the year he's having. I mean, he was a prospect as a high school kid and one of those guys that Florida was just hoping wouldn't sign. And you know, this is another example. That was a really smart move on his part because he's going to be a high first round pick and, you know, be doing really well come August.
Thanks, Dave.
Hodge?
Dave, I think you mentioned after the game on Tuesday that Sprague Lot was going to be good to go. Is he 100% back in the mix to start or?
Yeah, he's gonna play. I don't know if he'll ever be 100%, but he hit with the team yesterday and he looked good. But yeah, we'll get him back in the lineup this weekend.
And I assume, you know, since he started on the midweek game, but Diggs, his shoulders all back to 100%, or is it kind of the same thing?
Yeah, no, if he's pain free, he's good. You know, he's had some swelling inflammation in there and had some treatment, a few days off, and he seems to be swinging the bat as good as he was early in the season. And so we're excited to get him back.
And I can't remember if you mentioned it earlier. Molina's foot, which foot is it? Is it a push off foot or what?
I think it's his landing foot.
Okay.
Yeah, he was doing some dry work, what we call it, without throwing the ball and kind of rolled it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dudley, you pop back on. Anything else? No. All right, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Okay, guys. See you.